You actually did go to Mar-a-Lago and hung
I
out with
did.
Trump. Tell that story. That's crazy. How'd that happen?
So yeah, I had this and this is exclusive for you, Andrew. Honestly, I haven't shared this with anyone. So I had gotten a message from this guy. He had like a really, really big account. So I was very skeptic that this was like even a real deal. There's a lot of scammers out there. You never know if anyone's even the real deal. Um, and he's like a car dealer and he's a I believe he's like a very very luxury car dealer, like the Lamborghinis, the Porsches, whatever, the really really crazy, the McLarens. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but he reached out because he actually is a friend of Trump's. He's a member at Mar-a-Lago,
Hmm.
and he was like to me, "Listen, I'm going to this Halloween party this year. I've been following you for a while." He's like, "I'm very like best of the best for myself." He's like, "You're it. You're the best Kamala. I want the best Kamala on my arm when I go to this party." He was like, "Would you be interested? Like, I'll take care of everything. I just want you to come down to Florida. I know you're in New York." And this was at 1 o'clock in the morning. This was exactly like 2 years after I manifested this. And I walked upstairs. I woke my husband up, like shaking him vigorously. And I was like, "You need to look at this message." So he immediately was like, "You're getting too excited over nothing. You don't even know if this guy's the real deal. It's months out, it's months away." So I did this thing where I said to him, "Absolutely, please let me know more closer to the date." Radio silence from the guy. It was like 5, 6 months out still, but I was so excited. And for those 5, 6 months out, I was just like this. I'm like, "Listen, I really want this to happen." It's just an honor to be able to meet that man. I just wanted to meet him. I really, who doesn't want to go to Mar-a-Lago and just see what the fuss is about, you know? So, and it happened. He reached out to me as promised, everything. It was the best of the best makeup artists, and I remember him wanting to do like a whole makeup look for me and me wanting to meet Trump looking my best. And I was like to him, we kind of argued a little bit because I was like, I don't need the wrinkles and I don't need to look
Yeah.
like I have my neck hanging down. I will wear a suit. I was like, but I am the impression. I promise you. I'm like, you will not be disappointed. I'm like, the cadence, the mannerisms, that's what makes it. I could be wearing a garbage bag and I could still look like her. I promise you. So he was very much like, okay, like, I trust you. I trust your creative talent. He looked phenomenal. He dressed up as Biden. He was knocking into shit. He had the sunglasses, the Ray-Bans, like the aviator look. My husband, obviously was like, I would love to also come. And he's very quiet and reserved. So we made him Secret Service. He didn't have to say a word. It
Great.
was it was just such a good time, and we met these incredible people. And I will say that Trump, we saw him from a distance. Of course, there's a lot of Secret Service around him at that night. He was with his in-laws. He was with Melania. She's drop dead gorgeous. I remember getting like close enough to her to like just stare at her, just to look at her, and I'm like, wow, like she's just such a beautiful, poised, graceful woman. um and the party was a sick time. Everybody was there, had the utmost love and respect for him. He was the freaking DJ the whole time. Like, it felt like I was at his in his house, in his backyard. He had
Trump
this
was the
iPad in
DJ.
front of him. Yeah,
Trump,
he
yeah.
has his iPad, and he just controls everything from the iPad, and it's like banger after banger. And I remember just standing there thinking, like, I wish I could just like go on a ride with Trump in his car, because we have the same taste in music. Like, this is a New Yorker through and through. He feels like he's one of us, like, and it was just such a positive energy. The food was phenomenal, like just the layout. You're hanging out, rubbing elbows with
Yeah.
these people, and I couldn't believe I was there. It was beautiful grounds. My husband was just starstruck. He was taking pictures of everything, and they allowed cameras and they allow everything, but obviously, they're careful. And I remember at some point, Secret Service came up to me and they're like, "Yeah, listen, go talk to the Russian with the camera. Like, that shit's not gonna fly. He's on the roof. He's taking aerial shots of the place." And I told him, I'm like, "What are you doing? We're gonna get kicked out." And he's like, "No, we're not. People have cameras. Like, we're not gonna be here every day. We're never gonna get. We're probably never gonna come back here." So it was just such an experience. It was great. And I remember waiting in line to take my picture with him, because everybody there wants to take a picture with him. And one of the Secret Service agents looked at me and he goes, "It's about time you got here, Kamala." He's like, "I've been following you forever." And it was such a humbling moment.
Yeah.
It's like the world goes full circle, because here I'm meeting, in my opinion, the greatest president that we ever had, and hopefully the future president. And it's like these random people, and it wasn't just the Secret Service agent. There were just random people in this place that knew me, and I'm just like, it's insane how
Yeah.
connected we can be. And social media definitely has its ups and downs, but when it comes to this aspect of it, like, and I always say this, I'm very confident in myself, and like, shame on me for saying it. I don't mean it this way, but like, I'm genuinely a nobody in this space. I come from no professional background. I don't come from any, phone a friend people that are like, "Hey, take a look at this girl." Like, there wasn't really no connections here. I truly branded myself and I just stayed consistent. And if that's my message to people that want to do anything in life, it's just stay consistent and don't listen to people telling you that you're doing it wrong. telling you that, oh, this is not conventional. You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. Mar-a-Lago itself was proof to me that like if you stay true to yourself, you'll get to the highest places that you want, and you have to actually see it and speak it into reality. So I don't think that it would have happened for me if I didn't like, physically say the words. And I kept on saying it too. I was like, so now that taught me, like my husband's so funny. He'll see like a Porsche and he goes, I'm going to drive that car next year. And I'm like, that's exactly how this works. Yes. And
Yeah.
he's like, don't be ridiculous. And I'm like, no, this is exactly how it works. But you have to work towards getting the Porsche.
But I want to go back to Mar-a-Lago for a second. So you actually did get to meet Trump, right? Did
Yeah.
you go up to him, and how's that go?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't able, sadly, to have like a full blown conversation like I
Yeah.
wanted. But at some point, I remember telling him like, "We're gonna win, Mr. President," and he's like, "I hope so." And I was like, "No, we will win." And he's like, "Yeah, we will." He
Yeah.
probably doesn't even remember speaking to me, but I cackled the entire night, and I remember him just like throwing it, like he was sitting most of the night, so he would just like throw a chuckle because I was projecting the hell out of that cackle, and it was like, you could hear it even outside. I was just being so obnoxious when I was there because I was so excited, but I think it
Yeah.
was great just making him laugh. Yeah.